coming to you from Freedom Land Studios in Texas. This is the Chuck and Z Show. And now, here's Chuck and Z.
I said, you know what? I'm not really going to prepare. I'm sure that it's been a few weeks that we've spoken with you, so we probably have some stuff.
I'm sure you got plenty of stuff to ask us about.
I do.
We got used to talking every single week, and
I know. I thought about that too. When you get into someone's life like that, like us getting together once a week and kind of touching base and how did your week go? How's your work? All of a sudden, you're in each other's lives, and it's like a loss to have you guys gone. So
I know.
Anyway,
it's been hot. It has been hot.
Oh, we're already recording, huh?
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Dang, you caught all my drama on camera. You better cut that out.
I keep that as evidence.
So 101 degrees?
Yeah. It's 101. It's going to be like 100.
Hold up. Sharon fucking Cline.
Oh, shit.
Cheers, girl. How have you been?
I'm pretending to cheers with you.
That's okay. You don't have to cheers. I mean, just how have you been?
I'm good. We used to do our pre-show shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we used to do. And I'm really sad that I actually haven't really done any shots with anyone since then, I want to say. So it's our tradition.
Yeah, I would just go ahead and say we do have some folks who kind of watch the show on a regular basis now, so we truly appreciate that. But if you're getting ready to watch the show, right before we go to broadcast, about 2.5 minutes before we go live, we're in chaos.
Yeah.
And we're doing shots.
Why do you have to say that?
So if you want to do a pre-show shot with us, just about 2.5 minutes before the show goes on, we're doing our. I'll give you an example. So, all right, everybody, let's have a great show tonight.
All right.
Cheers.
Pre-show shot. Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
All right.
2.5. Counting.
We call
That's
it
how
the
we do it.
PSS.
Yep.
The PSS. Well, I do miss our traditions, and I miss seeing you once a week, and I miss hearing all about the different things that are happening in your lives. I mean, with kids and just life in general. And it's amazing how proximity affects relationships. Even though we can FaceTime or we text sometimes or whatever, being in person, there was just something kind of special with that. So
Yeah.
I miss that for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful I can still be on the show with you though sometimes. So
I think I was talking to someone about that the other day, because obviously we do employment and sometimes we have to do interviews over Zoom or I hate it. I never,
does it feel so different?
I just
like
never
doing
feel
an interview
like
that
I
way?
know who that is. I feel like, I see them. I see them on there. I get a little bit of a sense of their mannerisms, but as far as like feeling, I just don't feel like I have that same connection. I don't feel like I'm making the same decision. Does that make sense?
It does. I had interviewed a nonprofit book store owner and author. He has a once a year convention for authors in Georgia. And during the pandemic, even though people could log on a Zoom call, their numbers dwindled every year, just went down. But the minute they could be in person again, the numbers just went right up. So that to me was like such an interesting aspect of what an exchange of energy in person can do for someone's spirit, and how moving that can be.
I agree. Like, I think one of the things that makes podcasting fun is you're kind of an outsider looking in on a conversation between friends or people that are interesting. There's a hang going on, so you can see these two people interact. You can see how those words really affected this person, and you get a lot more data whenever two people are in the same room. And yet whenever so if you're zooming in, unfortunately, like we have to do it sometimes remote, you don't necessarily feel like those folks are all doing the same thing, right? There's not that in person. You're doing the same thing they're doing. They're dialing in to watch it versus everybody being in the same room together.
Yeah.
So I think it takes away somewhat from, because, right? Doesn't it? Because like, it's almost like you're dialing in to see us, we're dialing in to see you, and they're dialing in to see all of us. But that's really, it changes the dynamic. Does that make sense?
You don't even know if they're all wearing pants. Just so
Well,
you know.
Right, on Zoom.
Just
Oh, I hear
no,
you, Pam.
no, really, like the investment
know
of
what you're
time
saying.
and energy. Oh, well, I'm glad you're wearing pants, Chuck. So all the time and
you?
energy that
Oh my God.
that's your wife right there. All the time and
There's no
energy that
shame.
people take to actually physically get somewhere and spend time together, it has a different cost to it as well, and an investment. So, yeah, I think you're right. It's not that I don't feel close to you talking like this, but there was something sweet, and I'm so glad I have that experience in my history to know that I got to spend some time with you like that. Even though it was like for a year, it still was special to me.
Yeah,
for sure.
us as well. And obviously, I wouldn't be able to tease you the way I do if
I
we
know.
weren't really, truly good friends, you know?
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
I do
God.
it specifically because it gets such a rise out of it.
I know.
I'm so respectful of marriage and stuff that I'm just like, wait, did she know that you said that to me? She's right there. Yes,
Yeah,
she does.
Yeah, she does.
Just
Yeah.
God.
She does.
He's the best.
She knows. She knows. She knows. Like there are certain people that I'll tease just because it's fun to do. But
Oh yeah.
I mean,
You're like my brother.
Yeah, right. And there's nothing in a million years. It goes without saying. Not in a million years would I ever do anything to betray this relationship. And I think we're both very confident in that. And so that kind of allows that ability to tease.
Yeah.
You know?
And
Does that make
I
sense?
know that too. Yes,
Right.
it does.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
Now, if it was someone that I
Couple
think might
goals.
take it the wrong way,
Yeah.
I would never do that, right?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God
So,
dang it. Chuck. Charles. I've missed you, Charles.
I missed you too.
So what's been new
All right.
with you, Miss Sharon?
So let's see. I've done a lot of riding on the Sportster, which has been really
I
fun.
know.
Oh, one of the things I wanted to ask you about is if you saw the Bike Riders movie this weekend.
Not yet.
We haven't.
We did not. We were in California, and just timing didn't work out. But we're going to go see it this weekend. I want to go see that this weekend, and I want to go see the new A Quiet Place movie. Comes
It
out
might
this
be
weekend.
cooler than
Oh,
kinda-
the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
it's like a prequel.
We'll probably get some night rides in, go see the movies.
That's what I'm.
You know
saying.
what I mean? It's so hot during the day to ride.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to go early or in the evening in order to like not sweat your balls off.
Yeah, but so I'm actually curious what it's like for you all. We talked a little bit before the show started, how the weather and landscape during the summer affects your ability to ride. Because it's really kind of miserable here to ride. It's in the upper 90s, and it's even at 6 a.m. when I'm taking Daisy out. It's just
know.
humid. It's like 70. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just curious what it's like for you all in
You know what's
Texas.
crazy? I can't remember. Has it, is that normal weather for Georgia?
No, that's above normal this time of year.
I mean, yeah, I would say that's true. I mean, it's not even July. Usually August is when we get like some of the worst temperatures. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like normally, like late July, August, right? Those 2-3 weeks in there, you'll get some high 90s.
Yeah.
But usually it's like 89, 91,
Yeah.
right? It's not high 90s like I'm hearing it's been.
That's
yeah,
true.
it's pretty miserable. Yeah, tomorrow's 98, I want to say. It's just, even the weekends, if they're not raining, which is the first thing I check to see if I can ride or not, it's just too hot to ride. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit sad.
It's crazy when you don't see rain in the forecast at all for like 2 weeks.
So you haven't had rain at all? In
We
like 2
had,
weeks?
like, so in March, when we moved March, April, and May, it rained
Nonstop.
like nonstop. It was crazy.
Hmm.
June so far, maybe one day of rain.
Really?
And then, yeah. And then I checked the weather, and like for 2 weeks out, I don't see any rain on the forecast. I'm like, okay. So it's just going to be hot and humid. And it's not like Georgia humidity, I guess. It's not like the Southeast. There's not a ton of trees and, I don't know. There's something about the lakes and the rivers there that kind of keep it really humid. But here, there are lakes, but they're kind of out side of where we live. And so
Okay.
when we're riding, like for instance, when we were riding from bike night to go home, like during the summer, you pass, you know, Beaufort Dam, and it's like really cool, right? The temperature drops a little bit, and it's cool when you're riding by it and stuff like that. But here, like riding at night, 80 degrees, 85 degrees, it's like,
Jeez.
it's like an oven. And we haven't even hit like really the middle of the summer yet, so we'll see.
What is the typical temperature in July and August? It's worse than
It's
or
like
higher
100.
than now, I want to
I
say.
don't know yet. Yeah.
Well, you were here, what, last July and
Oh,
August?
yeah, that's
And
right.
it was like 112.
Yeah, there was one day where I flew into Dallas, and as I was sitting on the tarmac, I think it hit like 112, and there was no AC. We were on the tarmac for 45
Oh, my
minutes.
God.
It was rough. But yeah, it definitely is, you know, because I'm near transparent. So being out around here, I have to put paint on.
Oh.
Like, I
Sunscreen.
just put straight up paint. It's SPF t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and then a couple of Sundays ago, so like not last Sunday, we were in California, but the Sunday before that, we went riding. And for the first time, like I would get a little bit of, you know, sweaty when we would ride in Georgia, but it wouldn't be like my whole butt is covered like in sweat. That never happened to me. And I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
And
Oh my God.
And that was like a 2-3 hour ride.
The weather's crazy right now.
Yeah. So,
Interesting, because it's a different problem, obviously, than what we're dealing with here. But the other part of it, I think, is even if you can go up to if you can make it through the heat and go up to the mountains, you may get a little bit of a break in some of the temperatures, you know, or
yeah, I wish.
I mean, it could be a 10-degree difference, you know,
Yeah.
on
I think
Wolfpen
we have a
Gap
couple
and
hills.
For sure.
Blood
For
Mountain.
Sure.
I think we can get like
Yeah, but
12 feet of elevation.
Yeah.
A couple
12
of
feet.
hills.
12
So
feet.
yeah, that's a thing that you have to think about for you, is that even to get to an area where there may be some mountains, you have a long ride ahead.
Mm-hmm. Couple hours.
But don't worry, we got rid of plastic straws, so the temperature should be coming down soon.
Yeah.
Is that all
but-
it takes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the straws apparently. Straws are doing it. They're causing all the problems.
Silly. Yeah, so you're having fun on Wolfgang Gap without us. How dare? See, I'm jealous of that, Sharon.
Oh my God.
I know.
She's
We were
like,
talking
we
about
went on a-
jealousy.
We went on an adventure to Wolfgang Gap, you know, just riding our normal, you know, route.
Well, yeah. So the Fat Boy that I normally ride a lot, I have let Ash, our friend, who's a fellow Lita, borrow because her bike has been out of commission. So she's really been enjoying it, which makes me happy. And so I've, of course, been riding the Sportster so much. And I just wanted to go on a twisty road to see if I could handle it as well as I have been on the smaller twisties here. And I would love to take it on Tail of the Dragon, because I took the Fat Boy, which has a harder opportunity to lean. You know, I scrape the pegs. It's terrible. So being able to take the Sportster and actually kind of pretend that I was on the little Tail of the Dragon or whatever was so much fun. And it was June 1st, and it was actually kind of cold. We had several layers on, which is crazy.
Oh, wow, love it.
But it was beautiful and fun. And it was several of us together. I think there were 5 or 6 of us riding. And the last time I did that ride was with you all, with the Harley honkers.
The horny Harley
which-
honkers.
The horny.
Thank you for some.
I know.
I couldn't get it
Harley
out. I really
honkers.
appreciate it. Yeah, thank you for telling me that.
Shout out.
I was like, I know it. HHH. That's easier for me. And yeah, so that was so fun. But like at the time, I was still using the Fat Boy. So now being able to ride the Sportster, which has become just the most favorite bike of mine, it was a blast. And I did have my GoPro, which reminded me of you guys, because you always have your GoPros on. And I had some good video of it. But we also almost got into a wreck, which was terrible. One point on Wolfpen Gap, there are 2 lanes going one way and then 1 lane going the other way. Well, some cars were kind of weaving in and out, and one particular car almost hit Trisha and a couple other people, where we did get it on video. But it was the closest call I've seen to where we could have really witnessed a horrible, horrible accident.
Yeah.
It made me really mad.
You
I was
need to
really
send that
mad.
to Moto Stars. The
Oh.
video, the clip, they'll post it on.
Yeah.
like the YouTube channel we always watch with motorcycle close calls and like motorcycle accidents and things.
Yes, I do. I remember that. Okay, yeah, I can have it on my GoPro. And I have a new helmet. So I dropped my other helmet as an accident, the showy one, and I dented the top of it. I was so mad. I'd had that for like 5 or 6 years. But anyway, once you do a kind of a significant drop of the helmet, you got to get a new one. I just wound up getting an LS2, which is really nice. And I put the GoPro mount on it, and I have it all set up and I'm ready to go. I just need a cooler day to go ride, but have my Cardo in there so I can obviously talk on the phone, which is the best thing to do when you're riding. And yeah, it's I'm excited for a little bit of some change in weather, so that I can kind of get my GoPro going and have some good video of what, like, you all have had some of the most amazing shots from some of the greatest trips I've taken. So I want to do the same, and witness potential accidents that I can send to video. Please. That was the first one I'd seen. Yeah, random YouTube. It's the first one I'd seen, and I actually, really close, and I actually had it on video. It was kind of crazy, that I had the GoPro going at that moment. So
when we did our Lido ride and Chuck took the boys up to the mountains and Louis had his
all his
glad
arm
that he
and
had
everything.
his video, his camera on, so we could actually see what happened.
So crazy how you found the exact right part in order to fix his bike on the side of the road in like the
that was
dirt.
Crazy.
It was
crazy.
An insane story.
I mean, it's one of those things when you tell someone, you're like, what?
I know.
You found a C-clamp?
Yeah.
Right there where you wrecked, and it was the exact thing you needed
right
to fix. I mean, it's like,
can't
bro,
make
it's
that
like
happen.
the motorcycle gods.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's such a thing.
It's crazy.
Well, I've been trying to do a little extra riding here and there. But I always miss you all. And some of the best riding I've ever done has been with you. But also doing the Suches Loop was very, very fun. Being able to do the whole thing and kind of take a break a little bit in between, and I felt very accomplished afterwards.
You didn't go. It wasn't a Chuck ride though, was it?
What? Where you're standing on your pegs as you're going through all these.
If Anna was leading, no.
No, it wasn't a Chuck ride.
No, Anna did not lead. Actually,
okay.
Trisha is a really good rider. She's a very aggressive rider, a fast rider, and she's one of our fellow leaders. And we just had a great time. I would do it again in a second. But I get what you're saying about if there isn't sort of outside your door some really great rides that you can go 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you're in great riding. I get how that would wear on you. It'd wear on me too, because it's
even
an
if there
event.
were, getting there is like such a chore.
It is, but also like, all right, so anywhere you live in North Georgia, like Cobb County, Cherokee County, all that, anywhere you live, Bartow, you just go on the regular side roads. And it's a curvy, fun road. It's fun, right?
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that. You're right.
Yeah. So, like, whenever we would go, I don't know, there was a couple of roads right down the street from our old house, that we would just go and, like, there's this one that's like a super roller coaster. So it's really, you go up a hill and then you go down and it kind of like goes like this, and then it curves to the left, and then it's just really curvy.
I mean, I think the first time you took that one on
I was scared. I almost freaking dropped
on Black Mamba, I think you actually, your back
Low-sided.
wheel went off the pavement a little bit.
It did. I almost low-sided. I had to go like into the grass because I didn't lean hard enough because I was new riding.
Yeah,
in those areas.
It's just normal. So I've done that several times. It's a normal thing people do. Yeah.
But and then, there's this other road that was around the house that was kind of short. It was probably like a 2-mile road.
At most, it was maybe 2 miles.
It was so curvy. It's just nothing. It was,
And it was going through a pasture too.
Yeah, pasture. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could pasture. It went through a preacher. It went through a man of God.
No. Chuck, no.
Stop.
It went through a pasture.
Really missed you, Chuck.
Oh my God.
It went through a pasture. And so, I mean, you'd be rolling through and the cows would be like,
Cows.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
So interesting. You're right. I didn't think about that. It's like living in Florida. Everything's so flat and straight.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
even if you leave your house, you're still like, where's the fun, right? You're just
Right.
flat and straight. But out here, you do just side roads are
Yeah.
twisty. I didn't think about that
Yeah.
either.
If we couldn't get up to,
The mountain.
you know, the mountains every now and then, we could still find really curvy roads
You
right
could-
around the house.
You could do an hour loop, you know,
just around the house.
just around the area. Just
Go
find-
around, go over Buford Dam, and it's so
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah.
And then like turn around and go, you know, on the way to
Exactly.
over the top burger bar. You know,
How many times did we ride across the dam at sunset?
Oh my gosh, yeah. so
It's
many times.
just gorgeous. Like we would literally get up and let's just ride across the dam because it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
You would take a left, and you're in the fucking mountains.
Yeah.
You take a right, and you get the dam, and you would just, yeah,
damn.
yeah. So look, there's a lot of things to love about Texas for sure, but so far, and now we've been told that we're gonna be exposed to some other areas that we can ride in, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna give Texas its fair chance, but thus
Okay.
far, I think the only thing that we've really truly enjoyed was the Talamina.
Yeah, up in Oklahoma, and then there's Arkansas, so we can go to the Pig Trail, which is another ride in Oklahoma.
It's called the Pig
Arkansas.
Trail. The Pig Trail.
Yeah, Pig Trail. Yeah.
I'm starting to think like some of the scenic routes that we've heard about are kind of like what we experienced in California. Like we had this one road we went on, was it Laguna Drive?
No, but I can look it up real quick. But
Something
it's
like,
in Malibu.
It's in Malibu, and it's this amazing road that just goes up through this residential area, and it's super windy, and you can see forever because it's kind of high.
Latigo Canyon Road.
The Latiga Canyon Road. It was
Whoa.
gorgeous. But originally I was scouting it because I was like, you know, this looks like a motorcycle road I'd like to ride. But I would say near about the last quarter of it, I wouldn't take a motorcycle on it.
Okay, so we talked about Hawaii, right?
Yes.
And our
Yes.
adventure up up
Yes,
in-
where all of a sudden you're like, where are
All of a
we?
sudden,
Yeah.
Stopping
road
right
closed,
So
Yeah.
Chuck,
and there's a canyon.
yeah, so
here.
Chuck did the same thing in
Oh.
California, where there are a ton of like nice, wide open, curvy roads to ride. But he's like, let me take the most curvy, and it's through a neighborhood. So it's
Shit.
like it's through people's.
Gorgeous.
There are some gorgeous houses just like on the side of on either side of the road. But it's
Wow.
through somebody's neighborhood. It's
It's
a
definitely
suburb.
a car drive.
It's a car drive, but there were some motorcycles coming out, and then we went into Hollywood from there. And so from Malibu to Hollywood, there's this amazing
Yeah.
road that was super curvy and mountainous. Just like mountains all over the place. So yeah, we just got back from Born Free, the motocycle show. That's in
How was it?
Silverado. It
Good
was.
time.
You're
It
making
was
new
fun.
friends, and it's very upsetting to me. By the way. Like I see it, you had new people on your show, and I'm just like, wait a minute, who are these people? I have
I
like
know.
jealousy issues with you all, even though I have no right. But
I
I'm
know.
still like, don't make new friends.
I know. What's so funny?
We've flown the coop.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I got to tell you about the flying the coop.
We have left the nest.
But
We're out here amongst strangers, Sharon. Be worried.
yeah. So I
can't
feel
mom
like
you.
the first couple of months, like the first 3 months in Texas, I feel like I did when I first started riding bikes, and that was a bunch of guys and me.
Oh, are you
True.
serious?
Yeah. I'm the only girl. I'm usually the only girl on the ride. Like there's
What?
a bunch of guys and me.
I didn't think
Yeah.
about that. Why? Why is that the case when that's not the case here?
Well,
What's
I
happening?
think so far she just really hasn't, from my perspective, hasn't really met a lot of female riders that ride the way you ride.
Maybe. I know that there's a few that, have told me, hey, let me know when you're out riding. So I've gotten their information and I'll hit them up and, kind of check them out too.
It's
But
fine.
I don't know. It's probably me too. I'm not putting myself out there like I did, in Atlanta, because I've been there a while and I kind of established myself in the community. And here, I'm not saying I feel like an outsider, but I'm still just kind of getting a feel for kind of.
It does feel like that a little
the
bit.
vibes.
It does feel like that for me too. Like I'm still trying to like kind of find my way of who to know, who not to know.
I
what's a good
saw you
crowd to be
all.
around.
You were at a Harley dealership
Oh yeah.
and
we
you were
haven't talked
judging a
about that.
tattoo contest, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What? Okay, I again, it's fine. You have friends and a new life, and I'm happy for you." But there's part of me that's like, "Damn it! Why are you plugging in there so hard? Like, stop it!" You coming back? So I'm not in denial at all. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. So I was like, well, look at that. You're not just showing up at events. You're actually participating in these events and judging tattoos and shit.
Yeah.
And shit.
You know what's so cool? So Black Gold is probably like literally
15 minutes.
15 minutes from the house. So that's kind of like, we actually met the general manager a couple years ago when we first came out here to visit our friends Lauren and Jake, and they introduced us to them and kind of made friends with
That's
them in a
Black
way.
Gold Harley. Black
Yes.
Gold Harley, the dealership
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Black Gold.
Yeah, shout
okay.
out to Black Gold, and
Yeah.
also shout out to Matt, one of the
He's the service manager.
yeah, he good dude.
Yeah.
Like that guy.
Yeah, so we're kind of like building our
He's kind of
rapport.
stoic. I like that. I like guys that don't say shit. Like they just say what matters, and that's about it. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm the
Nice.
exact opposite, but I like that.
Yeah.
Well, so that's exciting then. Then you're making, connections and
Yeah.
being part of the dealership, not just showing up or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Do they
they-
do bike nights too or anything?
They do.
bike nights.
They do.
We're about, we're going to probably help them out with a bike night as well. So
That's fine.
Oh yeah, we're working on a few things like that.
yeah. It's
I'm
just-
excited to see that though, because I was going to say, I'm sorry to
No,
interrupt
you're
you.
good.
See your work. Okay, cool. So I was going to say that it's fun to watch wherever you get planted, because who you are as people, that's, it doesn't matter where you are, you're going to blossom. It's like bloom where you're planted, that kind of phrasing. So it's fun to watch because you were involved here and now you're in a different place and you're getting involved there. It's just, it's natural for who you are.
We talk. Speaking of tattoos, we talk about tattoos all the time, and we were judging that tattoo contest. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted this lotus. It's hard to see. There's a lotus flower right here on the underside of this arm.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
one of the reasons why they're gorgeous flowers, but they're born in mud. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the idea of, you kind of get not born necessarily in a great situation, but there's something beautiful you can make out of it.
I love that.
You know.
I love that. That's exactly it.
You just got really. What poem is that from?
Is that Janis Joyce?
Sorry, we're quoting Step Brothers.
Is it Janis?
Oh,
What poem is that from?
I've
I don't
only
hate you
seen
so
a few
much.
minutes
The-
oh, jeez.
The dude literally says, "I guess I don't want to punch you in the face so much," and he goes, "That's beautiful." Is that James Joyce?
Oh my gosh. So yeah, we did the tattoo contest. We talked about that on the last podcast, but that was really fun. And we were laughing about how, there was a worst tattoo contest and there was like best
Yeah.
in like several categories, and like people were really excited to like be voted worst tattoo.
Yeah.
Really? Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing though. It's still, I didn't even know that they did tattoos at a dealership like that. So I was kind of surprised that
Yeah.
that was part of it. But I love that you all are not just putting yourselves out there in terms of being part of the dealership, but all of the different people that you get to meet and network with can still like come and be on your show or go riding with you. That's the way I guess the natural way to make friends when you're
Yeah.
interested in the same thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to the networking piece, I would say that is, how we talk about the percentage levels within relationships. Like sometimes there's something that, so like video, social media creation, like creating video, shit like that, that's 80% me, 20% her. When it comes to the networking stuff, that's 80% her, 20% me. I just zone so much out. Like we have to network so much for work.
Yeah.
Like it's like literally what we do for work, building relationships and networking. That like a lot of times, I'm just being honest. She's like, "Hey, you met that guy. You've done this. You've done that.
Yeah,
This
is who,
This
this
is
is this
this is
and
where
this."
this is. There's what she's so much better. It's not that I don't know. I do know, I'm not thinking in those terms. Like I was explaining to her, like we were talking about, we went to the event, and it's like sometimes like I don't want it to be like I'm at work, right? Like I want to go to the event and I want to enjoy the event. I want to be able to have a drink and whatever. And there are people that I enjoy talking to, but I also don't want to feel like we got to go make sure we talk to this person specifically because it's a networking thing, which I should do it, right? But I just get so tired sometimes of constantly networking.
I love it, especially
Yeah, she's so
in
good
the
at it. I
motorcycle
give
scene,
it to
the
her.
motorcycle community. I mean, you just meet so many cool people, right?
That part I really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
Like meeting cool people. That's great.
Yeah, and it's fun to see people that you communicate with online, like live and in person. You know, like
There was a woman that met you recently that was like, I can't believe I have actually met Z finally.
Aw.
yeah,
Do you remember that? That
Yeah.
was so sweet. I'm like,
It
what?
was sweet.
That's adorable.
I know.
And I really
know.
don't-
And I feel the same way about her. You know, like I see her doing her thing on social media, and riding her bike and rocking it, and it's an honor to be kind of put in that category, and it's an honor to meet other great women riders too. So
I think that's another part of it too. Like I don't do a lot of online communicating. Like there's like maybe 10, 12 people that will comment on something on a regular basis on whatever that I like that dude.
yeah,
But I'll give him a fist bump. It's like, thanks, bro. Appreciate that. But that's about it. Like I don't like you'll tell me things sometimes. You're like, yes, this is this person's wife, child, where they went on vacation last year, what kind of car they drive. Also, they had this motorcycle before the last one that they wrecked in Bermuda. And I'm like, oh my God. How do you know that? And then she's like,
You catalog it.
and then she'll go like, she'll go like, you remember like this, and this. And then I'm like, oh yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm with you. But she just like rattles it. And
Yeah.
I have Dunbar's number. I think I'm at Dunbar's number. You know
Okay.
you know what that is?
150.
Do you know what Dunbar's number is?
No.
I'm
What
gonna
is that?
I'm gonna destroy it for sure. But
I'm
this
ready.
is the
Destroy away.
This is the concept. The concept is that as we evolved, we grew up in small packs of people. So our brains are still at the level of a certain amount of people. They estimate around 150 that you can maintain knowledge of in your brain at any given time. So if you know someone and then another person comes into your life, someone goes out until you're reminded of that person again.
Yeah.
And then somebody else goes out. So at any given time, you have about 150 people that you can keep cataloged and kind of what's going on with them in your world. I think that I hit that level.
Yeah.
So that we're like sometimes like when it's like learning a new language sometimes, like having to try to remember
I know.
everything about who this person is.
And it gets worse as you get older. Like sometimes, like I used to be really good at remembering names like this, right? Especially when I was in my 20s, I would have to deal with a lot of different people, like 400 or 500 people at a time, working with them, putting them to work, things like that. And if I saw you once, I would typically remember you. And then if I saw your name come up a lot, then I would remember who you were. So I would, call you by your name. And as time went on, like that started to decrease, and I'm not really remembering people as well unless I'm interacting with them on a regular basis. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And then also it's like what you're interested in too, right?
I think that's the other thing too. Like I think with many, many, many topics, my level of recall is pretty good. Like I feel like I have really good memory about a lot of different things.
You do.
And so it's weird that like certain types of things that I remember get prioritized, right? Like things that I read seem to be something that sticks with me way more than, oh, hi, I'm Chuck. Oh, I'm John. Nice to meet you. And then 2 months later, hey, what's up, Chuck? Hey.
Hey,
John?
hey guys.
Nice to meet you. And then he's
Nice
like,
to meet you.
"Well,
Oh, we met
Yeah.
him. Oh, fuck, bro. I feel so bad about that.
I know.
But yeah, but it's that, and then like I meet so many people that work too.
Yeah.
So it's just It's hard. So she's much better at that kind of stuff than I am.
I do.
I
my
like that
best.
though, because you complement each other then,
We do.
right?
Yeah.
I've said that many times. Like, why we work so well is there's a lot of things that make us work well, and I'll just categorize one part of it as chemistry. Like, I think Z and I have incredible chemistry in all aspects of our life, and I think that's a big part of it. But I think the other thing is where I'm lacking, she's very good, and I think that where not necessarily she's lacking, but maybe things that she doesn't
You can say
necessarily.
I lack. It's fine.
I don't think you lack at anything, but
He's being very careful.
Yeah, I see.
but I think that I would say that there are areas that I am more aware of than she is.
Oh, for sure.
And I can help her with those things. And
Yeah.
so I think we plug in together very, very well. I tried everything I could to. I didn't mean it that way, but as I was using that example,
Freudian.
as I was
slip.
using
can't
that
say the word.
example,
Freudian.
sorry,
How do you say it?
Freudian.
slip.
It's a tongue twister for me.
But my point is I think she and I complement each other both in our personal and professional lives very well in that way. I think.
Yeah. So
I always say hashtag couples goals, I think is how I've always thought of you guys. So it's very
Love it.
sweet.
Thank you.
They don't end when you meet. Couples goals.
Nice.
There's no
Jeez.
static. There's no stasis.
Yeah.
You're always working towards
You
that.
are. Yeah.
But I have a question for you actually. You want to shift a little bit?
Yeah.
Because I got a question specifically for her that's probably, I don't know, I hope maybe it won't lead into too much of a conversation, but it's about her profession.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we are dealing with a significant change in technology right now.
Mm-hmm.
And as a professional voiceover artist, I have to ask, like, what is the chatter around the future of what that particular talent is going to do? Because I'm literally listening to people who record 5 seconds of their voice, and then it'll create an entire book read in their voice with their inflection, with the way they talk. So I know that there's a larger conversation here for pretty much all art, but
True.
what are you hearing? What are you seeing coming your way as far as AI and voiceover work?
So there is a difference when you are listening to an AI voiceover as opposed to a physical person voiceover. The technology is not seamless yet. And probably right as we're speaking right now, it's getting better and better to be seamless at some point. But as of right now, there is not a way to code, encourage, prompt warmth in a
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Certain cadences you can't contrive. There are limits to what a real voice a AI voice can sound like. And I know that it's not necessary for every voiceover to have a physical person. Some of them are just explaining, directions to a place. That's a voiceover that is often requested through some of the auditions that I have, or a medical explainer, or even a medical journal book voiceover. There's not really a need for acting in that way, but there is nothing like a catch in someone's voice or a smile when you're speaking. You can hear those things. The right exact pause. I don't know. It's just still not seamless. I can tell, and you may be able to tell as well, but it does impact. Some of my auditions have gone down in number. I think I've noticed a change there. If they want, it's cheaper. You can have it done anytime you want. You don't have to wait for live talent, so things get done quicker. But there's just nothing that really does replace a real human yet in that world. But again, it's coming.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there will be, assuming that my true feelings on what all of this means assuming I'm dead wrong about that. I think there will be artisan markets. I think there will, just like we have now, that you have folks who insist on handcrafted and folks who insist on like the made in America. I'm sure there'll be a whole branding of stuff that's real humans, right? The other stuff will be way cheaper and more accessible.
Yeah.
But I think there'll be a market for that.
I want to be like, my voice has been cloned. I don't like how it sounds. I know I could have passive income this way where someone during the night could ask my voice to say stuff and then I get a check in the mail or something kind of nice about that. But I want to be like a boutique voiceover artist where I never sort of submit, where I'm always a human and I'm kind of old school or something. That's how I would like to stay. I don't know how long I'd be able to maintain a business, but because we can't kind of tell exactly. But I have an attorney friend who recently was talking about how he let go of some of his staff because they weren't working as quickly as they needed to in order to justify their salary. Yep. So he let them go and then kind of dug into what their job descriptions were and what they were supposed to be doing. And he was able to buy a $30 program that ChatGPT is able to go through a deposition and highlight the most important parts of the deposition in order to create a timeline. And that is something he used to pay someone to do and would take over a week to do. This is done within 5 minutes. All he does is go through and edit to make sure that everything kind of does match, but it's just editing at that point. Yeah. So he's eliminated, almost an entire job, basically. Sure, that person did other things, but he's like, and there's a protocol that he has steps of different cases, and he just kind of follows that protocol and gets ChatGPT and AI to fill in the spaces, and he's able to save $3,000 a month as opposed to $30 a month, to pay for this program. It's kind of crazy. It really is.
So should I share where I think all this goes?
If you want to.
Oh gosh, Chuck, where does this all go?
Okay, so I'll start it with the question I think that is the wrong question that everyone's asking right now. Everyone keeps talking about how are people going to make money? Because ChatGPT, whatever, AI, whatever you want to call it, it's coming for everyone's jobs. It's coming for everyone. I thought for a minute that relationship jobs were going to matter more, but when you can put a bot on something that you could pay someone $70,000 a year to do, or you can just stick a bot on it and get a 10% return, which is what people seem to be aiming for some reason, because it just, in mass scale, it works that way. It's coming for a lot of jobs. And everybody's saying, so, well, how are people going to pay their bills? How are we going to eat? How are we going to buy our food? That's really the right question. It's not the money. Stop worrying about how people are going to get paid. If every job is done for you by some program, what do you need money for? You don't need to buy a house. You don't need food. You don't need cars. All that's provided because it can be done by these bots free of charge. So what do you actually need money for? The question is how are my needs going to be met? Because all of us are signing up to hand all this shit over, and we don't realize that at the end of the day, what we're getting ready to do is who's in control now? If I'm subject to all of these programs' tosses, if I'm subject to all of these things, is my government running things or are these countries running things? And at what point does the money system no longer matter? At what point do you get to where you go, AI has solved agriculture. AI has solved how do you get your clothes. AI has solved this. There's no longer a need to be concerned with it. We don't need anybody to produce anything anymore. AI is doing it. Yeah. So what do? Well, most of us go, who's going to take care of me? The government. I signed up for this government to provide for me, and the government's going to try. But in exchange for that, it's totalitarian control. It's already happening. Look around you right now. How many companies could give a fuck about whether or not you're upset with them or not? or don't care. I can't tell you the number of companies that have literally defaulted on their only thing that they're supposed to do, and we're like,
Customer service.
You did, because now I can barely even get to anyone. Every system is designed to discourage me from seeking resolution. At some point, I'm powerless, and I don't have a job, and I'm not allowed to build my own house. I'm not allowed to go out and hunt on my own. I'm not allowed to do these things. So at some point, I'm totally captured, and we're signing up for it.
Well, we've already signed up for
And
it.
AI can make all of that possible. AI can outcalculate you by any amount of time. So at what point are you slow?
Yeah.
At what point do you not actually matter to the being able to churn the engine of production and everything that matters? At some point, you just end up being a ward of the state, that things are decided for you.
Yeah, it's weird. We just we watched this YouTube video clip of this the World Economic Forum
Yep.
conference that was like in 2018, and
Blows your mind.
this doctor, I think, or scientist, or whatever his position is, he was basically saying that, the only thing that matters, the only thing that will matter for the next generation of people is data.
That's right.
And we're already giving away all of our data
So
by signing up with all these apps, and like there are companies that have our data. The government has our data.
Yep.
And basically cars, textiles, nothing else, like that's not going to be what the world produces. That's not going to be a part of the zeitgeist. It's going to be data. And right now, I mean, in 2018, they were trying to figure out like who owns the data, because if companies own the data, then
they control things.
they control things.
Because think about it. Who makes up the government?
Right.
People. So if they have all the president's data,
Right.
who's in charge of him?
Right.
It's all right. So that speech from 2018 is, again, from the World Economic Forum. And what you hear when he's talking, which these are things that I pull out. I always pull out specific phrases and terms because they resonate with me as, okay, well, that's the goal, right? So, and I know this is going to sound so crazy, but everybody thinks the Matrix is virtual. It's not a virtual thing. It's what we're in now. It's what's going on right now. The man literally referred to human beings as algorithms. Humans are algorithms. That's what they are. It knows when you shit. It knows when you eat. It knows when you do this. It knows when you do that. It knows when you're not honest about this, because it knows it can read you in a way that you can't possibly. The data can collect on your facial movements and to tell you whether or not every time he stretches the truth, he does. It's instantaneous. It's done. You're an algorithm. And whoever controls the algorithm can decide to make you angry today by what it shows you, by what it exposes you to. It can decide to make you docile today by being nice to you. So these people, whether it's true or not, I'm not saying it's true. I don't know. But that's how they see it.
Yeah.
So if you don't fit the algorithm, if you're the one, if you're Neo, if you're an outlier, you go, well, this guy doesn't fit the way that the 99.9% of the world acts. What do they do to that outlier?
They attack it.
Yeah, you have to kick that shit out because it's not for the greater good. That is socialism. That is absolute control. And that's where we're headed.
So weird. It's just,
Weird. Illusion of choice. That's what's required. The required for it to work is the illusion of choice. And right now, the greatest trick our government ever pulled was convincing us that we lived in a democracy.
What's the solution?
I think we're past that.
yeah.
I think it's just I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I'm rooting against me that I'm not going to wake up one day and just, look at this. I was right. I hope I'm wrong by a long shot because it sounds horrific, right? But I think by the time they give us AI to play with, I go on AI, I play with it all day. I'm doing it for work. It's embedded in everything I got. By the time they give it to us,
It's already kind of past the point that we have, like what it's capable of. It's like,
yeah.
10
You think
times more.
you think we got industrial concentrated AI? No. We got some commercial bullshit that When you say the wrong thing, it'll make George Washington black. It's not a thing. It's being controlled. What we get is a product. We're getting a curated product. That's what the AI we're playing with is. It's not real AI. And that shit's been fucking running rampant forever.
Yeah. It's just weird and scary to think about. And I know we went deep, but
I'm just saying.
No. It's something that affects my day job as well, which is researching for movie companies and TV companies. They ask for footage to use in their documentaries and movies and shows. And one of the issues that we're having is that if I want footage of the Great Wall of China for my documentary and I don't want to pay for it or actually go there, I just ask AI to create a real life version, with bushes around it that actually exist and everything. And it is very, very difficult to tell the difference.
yeah.
So one of the issues that we're having is how much money will we be losing in that they will not be coming to us to ask for that kind
True.
of B-roll. That live video that is not replicable is premium.
Yeah.
So and in-person video is, with my cell phone is premium because that's not something that you can just find anywhere. I was actually at the event. I actually saw this happen, and this is live video. So also how, whether it'll be bugged where it says this is AI generated, though, it's moving so fast that I do see that at some point, yes, my job may be obsolete in this way. I think know how to fight. But think about this. My son wants to be a mechanic, right? He's going to school to be a mechanic. He works at a dealership. That cannot be AI affected, can it?
Yes, I'll give you an example. So I've already seen goggles that people can wear. All right, so just again, take this. Just keep escalating the technology, right? Because it keeps escalating, and it's escalating at a potential that you can't believe. I've already seen goggles that put hands in front of you, and you just stick your hands up, and you put them in there, and it goes, okay, so now grab this wrench and do this. It's literally guiding you through the process. At what point does it just have robot fucking arms? At what point does it just fucking do it?
I forgot all about that. There's a commercial that I saw the other day where this guy was trying to build a crib, and he couldn't do it on his own, so he used those goggles or whatever, glasses. I don't know what glasses they were, but he was able to build it because it even showed him the different size screws and what they all were, and he was just able to find them, and it was kind of amazing.
It's weird because all right, this is the last thing I want to say on this because I know I'm lost in conspiracy theory stuff, but I really think, I hope I'm wrong, but I really think it's a real threat, and they're telling you it is. The people who control the world are telling you, this is what we want to do. So listen, they're not lying. What they said in the 40s, they did in the 50s. What they said in the 60s, they did in the 70s. What they said in the 70s, they did in the 80s. Everything they've ever said, they eventually did, and they're saying this stuff now. 6 years ago, it's coming. But that's why I think certain things were so insidious, which is like whenever we found out that the government was collecting all of our text message shit.
Yeah, metadata.
And they go on TV and they go, oh, what are you guys so worried about? They're not reading your text messages. If you don't have anything to hide, what are you worried about? They're not reading your text messages. It's just metadata. Oh, well, that's incredibly fucking valuable because it has everything that I do. It doesn't have the right words, but it has my literal biological print every day. And we just were like, and most people in the country are like, this is metadata. What's wrong with you? Are you breaking any laws? What are you doing?
What are you worried about?
What are you trying to hide?
They were already building the AI at that point,
That's right. It was way past. They had already built it. That's literally a data grab. Think about when we implemented AI in our office. What do we have to do? We had to upload all of the data, resumes, contacts, all of the information into that system in order for it to work properly.
Yeah.
In order for their security monitoring systems to work properly, they had to have this metadata in order to start the algorithms. We were past it at that point.
How is AI going to affect motorcycle riding?
We already have self-balancing motorcycles, right? So eventually you'll have basically a system that just controls. I mean, right now we have in cars where we were in this Mustang over the weekend that we rented, a little V6 Mustang. And as we're driving around, you can turn on this thing that just keeps you in your lane. No matter what happens, you just stay in your lane. It'll accelerate, it'll slow down. It'll accelerate, it'll slow down. That technology.
Did you like that?
No.
Did you like it, or did it
Absolutely
feel
not.
weird?
It felt weird. I turned it all off every chance I got. There were certain modes you could put the car in, and I would just turn it all off. But the point is that for safety reasons, for our own good, all of this stuff will be regulated into motorcycles at some point. At some point, you'll just be allowed to let the II take you where you need to be on your motorcycle.
If they allow motorcycles.
If motorcycles are allowed. Cars, all that stuff. That stuff is gone. It's going.
It's so funny. Like, we were in California. There were a lot of like gasoline fueled cars, but there were so many e-cars. It was insane. Like, if it wasn't a Tesla, it was the new electric Mustang, or another electric vehicle.
Like an electric Prius.
Yeah.
It's not conspiracy. These things are, again, they sound crazy because most people aren't talking about them because they're like, I think a lot of people don't want to think about it, but it's already been proven that they can take control of your car.
Yeah.
If they want to shut your car down, they can do it. There's ways to actually hack your vehicle and make it go faster, make it go slower, make it turn, make it not turn.
Oh, yeah.
That's a possible thing.
You probably don't have it on your car. I don't know. But like on my vehicle, it tells me like when I need an oil change. It tells me like all of the electronics in the car. It tells me like what's going on with it. If my fuel is going low, it like connects to my phone and it tells me that my fuel is low. It's just, and it can tell me like where it is, where I'm parked.
And quite frankly, your car is a Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. It's not that involved technology-wise.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff in these vehicles are insane.
Yeah.
Literally insane. Some of them you don't even key. You just start with your phone.
Yeah, I could do that. Connect.
So again, just I always think about the things because I say this all the time. There's so much around us at all times. Like right now in this room, going between your car and that phone are millions of zeros and ones traveling on light. It's data traveling on light. It's all around us at all times. How is that not eventually hackable?
Yeah.
How is it not? So at some point,
I think it is. I think it is hackable.
People right now, they do it with cars all the time where they literally will take a clothes hanger and like just kind of get it close to something and it like somehow bounces a signal to your fucking car and it starts up. I've seen TRXs online stolen that way. I've seen so many cars stolen like that. So if they can take an antenna and figure out a way to hack a signal, how can you not beam some shit from a satellite down to that car that says, go off the road?
So my car is 12 years old. It does tell me when I need an oil change according to the mileage, but you have to plug in something to get the data of what's wrong if there's a check engine light or whatever.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I kind of like that then.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll give you an example of why we don't have a choice, that this is the direction we're going. It's like the momentum of society is just heading in this direction. I know this is a small thing, but when I have a meeting at work now and we're on Teams, right? It pops up and you're recording and it says, because you're participating in this meeting, you agree to be recorded. I don't have a fucking choice. I'm at work. I have to be on this. I have to be on this call and I have to be recorded. That's what's required. It's no choice on my part. I don't have any right to my privacy at this moment. I can be told, why aren't you on camera? Well, maybe because I don't want to beam my face across the internet right now. Maybe I'm getting a little weirded out by all this hacking shit. Maybe I'm a little weirded out by companies getting hacked and their data getting stolen. Maybe I don't want my shit within that network anymore, but I don't have that choice. It's a condition of my job. So I think that, and that's the same thing with my truck. When I bought my truck, there were things that I signed up for. The Cybertruck. Did you know that the people that have bought the Cybertruck, if they sell it within the first year, they have to pay a $50,000 fine for something they bought?
Yeah, it's like it's mine now. Why do I have to get why am I being fined by you if I bought it with my money and I want to
Never
sell
heard
it?
that.
I
Yeah, I
think
don't understand.
I think the game is up, and what I mean by that is that whatever it is, whatever's going on, there's no more value in what's happening right now. That's will pass. Time will pass. The pattern will create. More people will be here. Things will move on and move on and move on. I used to say it all the time. People talk about, this is my house. I own it. 5,000 years don't give a fuck about your little title. You will not be here in 5,000 years. This house probably won't be here in 5,000 years. The ground itself probably won't be here in 5,000 years. And I think that because we have such small windows of time that we think these things are long standing, but I think other folks play a much longer game. You think about like the Chinese, they have 100-year plans, meaning that the person that implemented them, 5 guys will replace him before that plan ever works out. But they don't see it in terms of, we're just trying to we want it now. We're patient. They wait. And I think a lot of things have gone in that direction. So companies don't give a shit if I write a review anymore.
Interesting.
Unless it gets attention. If a few other people happen to see it, then they'll call you. Because then that could snowball on them. But if, it doesn't get any attention, one unhappy guy,
Yeah.
It's
Does
a
that make
scary
sense?
thought to, I mean, it does. The world is moving very fast and it's hard to know. It's like the way the internet was. Like, what's the impact of the internet on children? Access to information all the time. What's the impact of social media on a generation? We don't still exactly know. We're figuring it out still and studying it. I mean, but that's what we're talking about, is kind of an unknown
It is.
frontier.
I think the impact has been, we are dealing with generations of people who have access to more information than any human being has ever had in their entire life, and they don't understand any of it.
Yeah.
I think that they're the dumbest, most educated people I've ever met.
Yeah, that's true. There did you
Well,
see
you
that
deal with
there
them in the staffing industry. So
Yeah.
what? Sorry.
I was going to say, did you see where they're trying to put a kind of like a clause or something like that on social media to
Like
kind
Surgeon General's warning.
kind of like deter younger people from being on social media because it's
What?
because
No,
it's so like it messes with your mind. Like you have to be a certain age, kind of like an NC-17.
It's literally programming. It's literally programming. That's literally what it is. Think about, okay, let's take it back to religion.
I gotta use restroom.
I know you do. She's got a piece. So plus I'm going off. So I'm on one. But think about religion. Why do you start kids out in Bible school? Why do you start them out at such a young age before they literally can comprehend what you're before they have any life experience? You are coding them to see things in a certain way. It's one of the reasons why adults have such a hard time, even whenever they've logically accepted certain things about reality. They have such a hard time letting go of that because it was ingrained in them from the time they were little that this is this thing, and so it sticks with you. Same thing with I think social media. However you feel about whatever the social things that are going on, whatever they want to be, you absolutely can code people to push in one direction or the other. It happens all the time.
And the thing is that most people aren't aware that they're even being pushed in a certain direction.
It's funny.
That's the scary part.
That's right, because it's such double speak. And we've talked about that before, right? For instance, no one's above the law. We've been hearing that nonstop, right? To me, when I hear that repeated over and over and over again, it's basically like someone's above the law, right? When I hear them constantly no one's above the law, that's not true. It's demonstrably false. You can actually prove that there are plenty of people that are above the law. I'm not saying they should be, but there's a lot of people that are above the law. There's a lot of people that, they can decide not to prosecute. That in itself means certain people get to be above the law. That's just how it works. But we like to say these things like, no one's above the law, because it makes us feel good, like because we're not above the law. We like to think that everybody's not above the law. But the reality is there are certain people in this country that are absolutely above the law. Absolutely. So, and I think it's stupid for us to pretend that's not the case. take in the information, take in reality, and adjust how you react to it so that you don't walk around believing that that could be possible for you, because it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does. I
I
get
just
what
went
you're
off on it.
saying. No, no, no,
Yeah.
no. I liked it. You're right. This is a whole new frontier, I guess, like what I was saying, that we are trying to navigate well and protect and control. I always think of like when my kids were younger and they were on social media, I worried about my girls because of body dysmorphia. You
Yep.
know, you're constantly seeing these beautiful women who, by design are made to look perfect. And then you look at yourself and you're like, well, I'll never look like that. So, and teenagers in particular being, insecure as it is,
Let's
it's
think about that. Think
scary.
about that coding. We grew up. Remember Kate Moss? When Kate
Yeah.
Moss came out, so this is an
She was so
unrealistic,
anorexic.
unrealistic representation of what a female body should look like, and it makes little girls feel bad about themselves. Them seeing that tells them that this is how a woman should be, and that is not right.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, we should blah 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 blah. But they can see this other stuff,
Yeah.
highly sexualized things.
Victoria's Secret models.
But that's whatever you want to talk about. There's so many things that they're
There could
okay.
be anything. Yeah.
So many things are okay with them seeing, but that doesn't affect them.
I mean, how many people have gotten surgeries, BBLs and boob jobs and
why does it?
And not that that's bad. I mean, if you want to do it. But like, I think that a lot of people do it because it's what's out there.
And it's trendy.
It's trendy.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And I
Like
think
in the 60s, there was the model that had like Twiggy. She was like this tiny stick figure, and people would get breast reductions. And then you go all the way to the Kardashians, which have made like the curvy bodies, right, which you would get breast enhancements and whatever else. So I'm just saying, you're right, it's trendy. So it just depends on what the trend is at the moment, but it's something that you're constantly being bombarded with and are affected by visually. So
and again, this
your definition of beauty.
Obviously, I'm being very, very careful with the things I say, because I don't want to offend anyone, because I don't want to judge anyone's journey in life. But I don't know why people don't think that transfers to all things that people are willing to do to themselves in order to be a part of a group or a system, or to look a certain way, or to feel like they fit in.
What do you mean, like losing weight or something like that? Like, what do you mean?
I mean, like in general, like I think modifying their bodies in any way. I think people will do that as a result of certain types of influence, to be special or to fit in or whatever. And I don't think that we should assume that stops at breast. I don't think that we should assume that stops at butts. I don't think that we should assume that stops at gauges in their ears. I think that people, in order to be different and feel special, are willing to do a lot of things that they feel is going to somehow affirm who they are. But the reality is that no one can do that for you, and no modification is going to do that for you either. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you should never underestimate someone's willingness to do something detrimental to themselves for what they perceive as a gain within the social norm. I don't think you should put that past people. People are willing to die for causes. People are willing to subjugate other people for causes. People are willing to deny themselves food to make a statement. People are willing to do all kinds of things for themselves. We should not assume that that's not part of it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying we have to accept it's part of it, and that some people probably could be saved from doing things to themselves that they will regret later in life. Still up to them. Yeah. They can do what they want. But I think that if we were to put some type of, I don't know if a warning's necessary, but I think that we definitely.
I think it's a little too late. Like,
I think you definitely.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I was getting at. Like, why are we now putting this warning on these social media applications when it's already out there? And honestly, if I were growing up and that were the case, I would be pissed. I would be mad. Like, everybody else before me were able to have this,
Mm-hmm.
freedom to go on these apps and see things, whatever they wanted to see. And now you're
Not only
telling
that,
me
but
like it's
all my friends do too now, and I don't want to
Exactly.
not be part of the group. So
yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
It's weird because I'll bring up something that's really big on social media right now, and I'll leave it at this. But some girl was being interviewed, and they said to her, like,
I know
what
this.
what is something that you need to do to drive a man crazy in bed? And she literally was like, you need to spit on that thing, right?
Yeah.
And like, it was funny, right? It's funny, but just think about
My
that.
God.
Describing a sexual act like spitting on someone's dick is. I saw grandmothers reposting it.
Isn't that weird?
It's so crazy how like just 15 years ago that would not be something that was acceptable to say in public, and now it's like everybody thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
It's
I saw
totally
somebody wearing a
different.
shirt today with that Hawk Tua.
No, there's a shirt already.
Yes, I know, right?
Again, I'm not trying to be gross or whatever, but like, how many flashing butts do I have to see? Like, why are people walking around with their butts flashing now?
Flashing? Oh, because
Yeah,
they
but-
have stuff up their butts?
Yes,
Oh,
these
gross.
light up things
You've
that
seen that?
I've never even seen that.
you've
I
never
didn't
seen one of these
quite get
girls
what you
walking
mean.
around in these dresses with their butt flashing.
Are you talking about on social media?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he meant in real life. I was like,
Like, why
where
are they
you
walking
going?
around with that?
Yeah.
I don't
Right?
understand. I don't
Your
understand what you're
algorithm's
talking
messed
about.
up, Chuck.
It's
His social media algorithm.
my
is
algorithm
way
is
off.
all death and things that I'm like, why are people doing this?
And then when he sends me stuff, I'm like, you're messing up my algorithm. Now I have to see all this shit too. I don't want to.
I will 100%. Like,
All I want to see are motorcycles and like maybe some funny jokes. But
something
like,
will pop up on my Instagram and I'll send it to her. Like, why is her butt flashing? Explain to me what's going on.
I don't actually understand. I kind of don't want to know what you're talking about. I think.
I mean,
it started
So-
with.
you literally have a look at me sign on it.
I know. Crazy. Sharon's astounded.
All right.
I'm
now
sorry.
So now that we're back from me explaining something to Sharon, and I don't know if she's
I
gonna.
I'd never.
I don't know if she's gonna
Not gonna
recover from.
recover from it.
Yeah.
I'm like, but what?
But why?
Anyway,
But why?
but why?
Why? What's the
No.
point?
Um.
All right. So
Okay.
let's. Okay.
Okay.
So.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make sure that because Sharon wasn't understanding what I was saying.
I did not. I was like, what
I
are
had
they
to-
flashing? Like
I
they're
had to-
flashing.
I had to get graphic with Sharon, but it's all good. But Sharon, it has been a blast catching up with you. I know we
I
got
feel like
deep
I
on
didn't
the
get
AI
enough
stuff.
I
No,
know.
but I
never
didn't get enough
do.
time with you to talk about other fun
Well,
things. So
I was
but-
telling Z, we got to make sure this is once a month.
Yeah.
A Just Us
Oh,
episode
yay.
once a month at least. We have to do at least 12 a
Okay.
year. Are you in?
Oh, I'm in. I'm in.
Okay.
I will definitely make time for this, for sure. And I would really love to come out and see you. It's
You got
something that
to.
is on my
We
my
have an extra room.
calendar.
Come on.
What? Just for me? Nice.
Yes.
Well, we were talking about
we-
well, we could do a show in person. You know,
Yes, I would
like
love
we
that.
used to,
That'd be
and
awesome.
I can be producer chaos once again.
Yes.
I would love
That'll
to.
be-
So
We'll call it that.
I mean-
we'll call it Producer Chaos Returns.
I still ride and think of you all, and then know that as we do once a month shows, that as I ride, I'll be thinking, okay, well, I can talk about this on the show or that on the show. So it keeps
Yeah.
me riding too. I'm serious. Like I saw the Bike Riders movie this weekend because I'm like, we're going to talk about it. So we'll talk about it next time.
We will. We will for sure. We'll
I know.
make sure we've seen
we
it.
totally wanted to, but we didn't take any time off
That's
work.
okay.
So Friday
Life happens.
it does.
Ooh, Furiosa. Have you seen it yet?
I have not even heard
Have
of
you
it.
seen
What is
the
that?
Mad
Mad
Max?
Max
The
prequel.
original Mad Max?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Have you seen
okay.
Okay, so the new one is you will love, especially the opening. It's badass girls on badass
Bikes,
motorcycles.
girl.
doing
I was like,
badass things for like 20 minutes.
Damn,
It's awesome.
she was riding
Isn't
without
Tom Hardy
shoes.
in that? What?
Yes, Tom Hardy. No, he's not. He's in the original, like the Mad Max
He's got
Fury Road.
No, never. I can't tell you.
But this is
Controlling yourself.
Chris Hemsworth.
Hemsworth
Yeah,
and Anna Taylor-Joy.
And there are motorcycles in it.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, there's like
Oh,
the
yeah, a
whole
lot.
like a large portion of the first quarter of the movie is motorcycles.
a lot of motorcycles.
What?
it's
That's
really
it.
good.
I'm watching.
There's characters. One's named two
Harley,
characters.
and one's named Davidson, and
Yeah.
one's named Mr.
Dude!
Norton. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you're kidding. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Oh, I
So
can't wait
check
to
it out.
watch.
yeah.
I will. Thank you for telling me. Now I have
Alright.
something to do.
Yay!
All right. Well, Sharon, miss you, girl. We'll
I
see
miss
you.
you guys.
We'll see you again very shortly. And anything you want to say before we close out?
Just thank you for having me on again and reminding me of how much fun we used to have. And I really appreciate our deep conversations too, even if I have sort of limited knowledge. I can't really
Even if
be
your friend
intelligent
sounds
with
like
my response.
Even if your friend sounds like a loon.
He's a crazy person.
Not a loon. I actually, there's a lot that I have, what do they call it, where you have selective attention and I don't pay attention to a lot of these things. So you always kind of give me a heads up of some of the things that I need to be aware
Oh,
of.
yeah.
And especially regarding the voiceover world, I need to kind of keep my finger on the pulse of that. And, but I appreciate your chatting with me about those things.
It wouldn't probably be a bad idea to start branding as a real voice or start talking
the
about
boutique voice. Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to start branding that way. But
The cool tones of Sharon Cline.
the dulcet tone.
Dulcet tone.
Dulcet. Oh my gosh, that's a good word. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. It's something I don't think about as often, and I really don't know a lot about it. So listening to you, who really seems to have studied a lot, it gives me something to think about too. So we'll just continue on this conversation as time goes on and more AI things seem to take over our lives. So
Yes.
not me though, not my
No,
voice, at least for
never.
now.
Never.
Well, I would like to say never, but
I
yeah,
know.
you're right. 5 seconds, 8 seconds is all you need for some. And I have so many books. Someone could clone my voice pretty easy. So it's
Yeah.
a scary world.
I
It
mean,
is.
that thing definitely sounded like Scarlet.
I think people have been doing
Crazy.
that. Like some YouTube videos that we watch that are kind of informative, like
Yeah.
documentaries and things, or
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like, I hear, like, when I'm listening to the voice that's narrating, I'm like, that doesn't sound. They're saying these words, like they're
Every
saying
now and
one
then a word will be
word.
weird, right?
They say it right the first time, and then the 2nd
Mhm.
time it's like a totally different word, and I'm like, that's not the way you say that word. I'm like, you don't know how to say words, and then I'm like, is that AI like talking?
So
Yeah.
here again, one of the things that I don't know how they're going to handle, right? It is so easy to create that video now. It is so easy to
Yeah.
have that entire ChatGPT write me 5,000 words on Gobekli Tepe. All right, Dolly, I need 2,500 images on
Images.
Gobekli Tepe. Okay, Sora, merge this documentary voice that I just put together and all these images together into a documentary that represents Gobekli Tepe. That takes 20 minutes. Now you can upload 1 trillion of those a day. So you go to YouTube and you have 12,000 10-minute videos on Gobekli Tepe.
Right,
What are they going to do?
right.
How are they?
One of the issues in the book world, audiobook world, is that there are people self-publish. I mean, it's a whole thing. People are self-publishing books that ChatGPT wrote, and they now will have an audiobook because they have an audio automatic voice doing it, and they didn't
And-
write one thing.
Not one word.
And you can feed that into Sora now, and it'll create a movie of that. Have you seen Sora yet?
I have not.
Feel free to. And Sora is actually outdated now.
YouTube
There's
it.
there's another one that's out that's better. But when we get done with
Sora,
this, feel
but it
free.
looks like real. Like there
It's
was
text
one
prompts.
video that we saw that was like a snowy day in Japan with people walking, and it was just all AI.
There's like 300
But it looked
individual characters
real.
doing different things, like
It looked
like
real.
real people, and it literally was just text, no fed image, just typed in a text. Create this scene for me, and it did it. And so now that's why, like, what was his name? Tyler Perry was building an $800 million studio in Atlanta. Saw this program and said, "Stop."
Production studio.
Yeah, what did I say?
Well,
Studio?
I've been
There
an
you go.
extra. I've been an extra on 2 of his shows. One of them is called Sistas, and the other one's called Zatima. And so I had never been on the lot before, and it
That's
is ginormous.
Okay, so what's weird about you said Zatima,
Uh-huh.
Zatima?
That's the name of the show.
So what's weird about that is that my name is Zahara and my sister's name is Fatima. And I'm like,
And
what?
they used to call y'all Zatima.
No, I'm just
They're
saying.
One of
Zatima. They're the team.
one of the
Zatima.
characters. One of the characters in Sisters is called Fatima.
Okay.
One of the main characters.
I call
But
her-
it's interesting. What do you don't tell? Wait.
I call
Okay,
her
go ahead. What do you
Fatima.
call it?
I always say Fatima. What's up,
It's like
Fatima?
Fatima, and it's really Fatima, but
Oh,
you know,
I
like
do it on
the
purpose.
English accent, it's Fatima.
you're such a white guy. Just
Oh,
kidding.
yeah. You've seen me, right?
But yeah, so it's very kind of interesting to see the sets, and I can imagine the cost involved in creating something so ginormous and then being able to recreate this in 15 minutes. And this is the concern with my job
Yeah.
at work, is the notion that you don't need someone researching video clips. But I also think what a premium it'll be to actually see something happen live. For example, if you are actually at the Taylor Swift concert, you have proof that this is a real existing thing, but only to you. Anyone else that sees it on in any media way, it's not true. So there will be premiums on in-person conversations and press conferences and events.
Like that will be kind of like the exclusive kind of
That's right.
for the elite.
That's
right.
right. Being
Yes.
able to tune
Only
into
for the
something
people.
that's actually happening.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of like how we went from record players to CDs to now digital. Now,
Which you can't even touch, yeah.
right. And now vinyl is like super kind of nostalgic, and people want it now because it is nostalgic and because it's a different sound than a digital platform, a digital media. So,
So going back to something traditional, well, hopefully if I'm a traditional voiceover artist and I stay that way, that'll still be considered a premium in some way.
OG Sharon.
Sharon, it's going to be crazy. I think the next 5 years is going to be crazy. But we're not going to solve that tonight.
No.
I think we did a good
No.
job. We did
I
some
think
damage.
I think you just worried me. You just worried me even more.
I want none of that to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, do you want to say hi to somebody? Come here, Ellie.
Oh, I was thinking about her. Oh,
Did you want to say hi to Ellie?
Ellie, do you miss me?
No.
She used to sit with me and shake.
I know.
Little bit.
Look how white she's gotten.
You know
She
what?
got-
She's kind of tinier to me.
Yeah.
She got attacked by
bit.
birds.
She does look tinier. She's the same
A little
size.
bit.
She's
Is
the
she?
same size. She's just annoying.
She got attacked by a flock of birds almost as big as she is.
Oh, we
Are
didn't
you
tell you about our
serious?
nest. Remember I told you I was going to tell you about leaving the nest?
Yes. Yes.
So on our windowsill that's right above our shower outside, I don't know what kind of bird it was, but they had a nest. They built their nest.
Sit.
And she laid 3 eggs. So, and then they kind of came out of the eggs and they hatched, and they were just sitting there for like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
Just
I think
sitting in the nest?
Yeah, and she was every day
Oh.
going to feed them. Like she would feed them.
Oh, yeah.
So,
How
like,
sweet.
as I'm taking a shower, I can like see in the mirror that she's feeding them because it's like a frosty
Aw,
glass window.
it's adorable.
It was. The last one flew the coop
Yeah.
last night.
It's over?
It's over.
Walked out there, and that brave little bird was sitting on the ledge. It was the last one. It was just looking around, and I was like, yep, it's about to go.
And it's gone.
It's like your babies. You kind of
it
witnessed
is.
them being born and everything.
Yeah, witness them being
Aw.
born, witness their ugly
Flying.
stage to their cute stage.
Oh, they were ugly. I got pictures of them. They're ugly.
But it was
That's
like
so
crazy
sad.
that it was like only a couple of weeks, and then they were ready to fly the coop. And
Yeah, we're bitches. As humans, we take a long time to get ready.
right,
20-something years.
if
It's
not
a
longer.
long time.
if not longer. But Ellie went out to go use the restroom one day, and one of the birds was kind of like in the grass.
It hadn't flown well
It hadn't
yet.
flown well yet, so it kind of took off probably and landed. And the mom
Oh,
was up
God.
there, and she called all her friends, and they were just swarming Ellie like
To keep the birds safe? Oh,
chirping.
my
They
God.
Yeah.
kind of run Ellie away.
Ellie.
It's funny.
it was so.
How did
funny.
Ellie take it?
Well, she kind of acted like it wasn't a big deal at first, but then I think towards the end of these birds leaving, because every time she would go out, they'd start swooping at her now because she's outside and the birds or whatever. But like the last time, one got too close to her in the air and she kind of like charged at it. And,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Look at her.
She thought they were playing.
yeah, oh yeah. I'm sure she thought it was like one of her little toys, which is not
Yeah.
good because she murders her toys. Like every toy you give her, she just rips it apart. It's the first thing she does. She's like, this thing is squeaking. Let me get the side. Let me get it out.
Right?
That's
Right? That's
too.
exactly what she would be doing.
She probably thought it was a squeaker.
would be looking for that
Squeaky
squeaky
toy.
toy. She does too.
Daisy
She'll pull
does
the
the same thing. Yeah.
she'll
The
pull 'em
stuffing
out.
and the squeaker. Yeah, out. It's like the mission.
and then she
To
brings
make
them
it
to you
sad.
as she brings them to you like she did something. She's
Yeah.
like she'd walk over to this little piece
Here's
of
your
plastic in her
dinner.
mouth. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you just broke it. That just means I got to buy you another one now.
It's so funny.
No, I mean, I don't know. It's funny too because I think as time goes on, I mean, I like witnessing some of the different things that you all go through, even just like outside of motorcycle world and all of that. But like the kids getting older and all of that, and like doggies coming and going. But I like that I have some history with you all. I was thinking about like it's been 5, 6 years since
Yeah.
I've known you, and we've got, and some of the best experiences I've ever had have been like within the group of us riding or whatever we've done. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I did it. Like I didn't just say, oh no, it's 4th of July weekend. It's probably going to be hot to ride down to Destin, whatever. But I was like, no, let's go. And I'm so glad I took every opportunity to be
I
able to
know.
spend time with you all that way. So,
too.
yeah, and I like that I can continue it on even if it's a little different right now. So I'm grateful to still have to touch base and
Yep.
talk about shit.
Yeah. Shauna was talking about, our friend Shauna was talking about, we should all meet in the middle. And then we're like, Memphis, because they've never been to Memphis. You know, she bought that new camper. And
Yeah, she and her boyfriend.
Yeah, and we've been wanting to go back to Memphis. I haven't done the touristy thing. I just worked in Memphis.
Oh, Beale Street's a lot.
So Bill Street and like seeing Graceland.
I've
and
never
all that.
been.
Oh,
Memphis.
see,
We should do
Never
it.
been.
Like,
it's a new.
okay, so
adventure.
the plan will be to stay outside of Memphis
Yeah.
and just to go in for a couple of things, like going to Beale Street and then maybe go to see Graceland. Have you been inside Graceland?
Oh my
I
God.
told you I haven't done any of the tours.
Yeah, we need
I want to
do
go to
that.
Graceland.
I
Yeah,
know.
let's do that. We should do that, but I don't necessarily want to stay in Memphis.
There's some nice places in Memphis. Chill.
Suburbs.
Did she
I've
just
been
say
there.
chill? Did she say chill to you?
Yeah, I'll be an extra
Nice.
about Memphis.
He's so extra.
It's an incredibly dangerous place. Why are you acting like this isn't a common thing for people to know?
Because people live there and they survive.
Well, I mean,
Would you stay in New Orleans if you could?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just curious. Or would you
have.
stay outside New Orleans and
No.
come in and then?
oh, New Orleans.
You got to stay in the city. Everything's down there.
Yeah.
I've never
I mean, I've
been
done
to New
both.
Orleans.
I've done both.
So like Beale Street's just like, 7-8 blocks or something. It's not like a big area, and then Graceland, but
Yeah.
there's really not. I did the whole stay at the Heart. I don't even think it's there anymore. I think they sold his plane too, so his plane's not there anymore. But used to be able to go in it. But they had this hotel that was called the Heartbreak Hotel, and it was broken.
This is a heartbreak
Wasn't in
hotel.
good
It is
shape.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was purple on the outside. and
I was wondering, did it have pink walls?
yeah, you should. I think they probably some pictures of it still, but this is before I really understood. I didn't travel much when I was a kid, so I was like, "Oh, they have a Heartbreak Hotel. I bet that's a theme hotel. That's gonna be cool." Nah.
Pretty terrible.
Well, we'll have to plan some more adventures. And even
I-
if we're not riding to there, we
Uh-huh.
can still just
It
go
had
and
a-
have fun.
It had a window unit that leaked to the inside.
oh, the AC.
Ew. It's awful.
It was gross. But anyways,
All right.
well, Sharon, it's been great catching up. Miss you. Love
Miss
you.
you guys.
We'll
Love
see you.
you.
We'll see you for sure in 3 weeks, but
Nice.
we'll definitely talk before then.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Sounds like a plan. Ride
All
safe.
right.
Z, take
You
us out.
too. All right. Remember to like and subscribe and comment on this video, and check us out on Instagram, Chuck and Z, on YouTube, Chuck and Z on Instagram.
Shiny side up.
All right.
We're out.
Bye.
I'm gonna
Yay.
go- I'll stop it there.